Hello, my name is Carolyn Yarina, and this is another Tuesday Tidbit presented by Regroup Advisors. Today, I'm talking about building a global and connected team and operating a stronger work environment in this global, virtual, connected world. Earlier, Michael Koszubski talked about managing a virtual and hybrid workforce. That was a great discussion, and I want to expand a little bit further and talk about building a global team and operating in a global environment. We've all had to make adjustments going through COVID-19, where we've had to build new structures, to set up meetings over Zoom, to have conversations and build strong relationships that are not only from in-person sit-down conversations, but also for building connections over these virtual conversations that can be awkward, they can be different, and they can be difficult. But if you think about this in a structured manner, you can manage to build a very strong, very global team that can take advantage of the opportunities to work with people that you might not have otherwise. Most recently, I established a company that we grew for a product and an organization that had a US manufactured product that we exported globally. So we had team members that were based in at least 4 different countries at any given time. So based out of the US, the UK, India, and several countries within Africa as well. And how we built a strong global environment and a strong global team and company was through looking at a couple of different structures. So one is looking at our culture and how do we permeate that across the company in a virtual environment. 2, what tools and structures could we use to build a stronger, constructive, effective environment? And 3, how could we really create that environment of community, collaboration, and discussion in what we were doing and make sure that we're not missing out on those casual conversations and those brainstorm sessions that you get when you're in an in-person environment, and manage all of that across time zones, across geographies, and taking into account different cultures. So on the standpoint of building a strong company culture, we built an organization where we made sure that we had strong values that were in place. So in our case, it was tenacity, inclusivity, respect, and learning culture. We also made sure we had strong ethics policies and strong underlying principles through everyone we hired and through the company that we built. 2, in a strong global team, it's important to utilize tools and utilize making sure that communication is put in writing, that you have clear assignment of responsibility, you have clarity of structure on who is doing what. But when you're in a virtual environment, you have to go an extra step. You have to be intentional about communication. You have to be intentional about setting up those discussions and about having those conversations to check in. And so it's very helpful to have tools like a project management tool like Monday.com or Apollo or Asana to be able to check on who is doing what, by when, and by who is doing that in regards to being intentional about setting up meetings, setting up structures, and building and fostering a community in that virtual environment. We did so by having a couple different ways. So one, in terms of tools, is we used a tool called Slack, which is a form of replacing email with internal conversations. We made sure that it wasn't just about work. So we wished people happy birthday. We had discussions about interesting articles that we shared with each other. We checked in on, what people were doing over the weekend or what people were listening or talking to, and had that chatter and that discussion online. And it also made it easy for people who are in different time zones. By having that in writing, they can engage and respond when they were online. And finally, we also set up water cooler or organic discussion meetings that they did seem a little awkward at first to kind of force those casual conversations. But by having a structure and a rotating conversation between people who might not discuss otherwise in a virtual environment, it helped build a stronger, cohesive team that allowed cross collaboration and communication with people who might not have otherwise communicated. So that's another Tuesday Tidbit presented by Regroup Advisors, and I look forward to speaking with you again soon.
If you've enjoyed this episode of Business Plain and Simple Tuesday Tidbits by Regroup Advisors and don't want to miss future topics, well, like and follow us wherever you get your podcast. Interested in learning how Regroup Advisors can help your company? Contact us at info@regroupadvisors.com or online at regroupadvisors.com.